Show. Please have a seat, everybody. Thank you so much. Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Now, we are live. That's a live audience right there. It is just crackling with electricity in here because we are live after the first of two Democratic presidential debates. I'm going to tell you all about it if Bill de Blasio does not interrupt me. Tonight, Wednesday, was the undercard pitting Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, and Beto O'Rourke against 7 people angling for MSNBC shows. There were some challenges. Exciting night, but there were challenges. They talked over each other. There were some technical difficulties, but it was an excellent dress rehearsal for tomorrow's actual debate. Now, very good, very entertaining. Final preview. Right. Final preview, we call that on Broadway. Yeah. Now, I tuned into NBC early tonight, and what I saw got me really excited about the new debate format. Unfortunately, that was Ellen's Game of Games, though that giant boot wouldn't have been welcome during any one of Bill de Blasio's interruptions. Now, the biggest early moment was a linguistic surprise from Beto O'Rourke.
This economy has got to work for everyone. And right now, we know that it isn't. And it's going to take all of us coming together to make sure that it does. Necesitamos incluir cada persona en el éxito de esta economía.
Not entirely sure why he felt he had to do that. He's either trying to lock up the Hispanic vote or he's running for embarrassing dad at a Mexican restaurant. Here's the thing. ¿Dónde está what? Here's the crazy thing. When Beto was hablaing the Espanol, this is true, in the closed captioning, it just said, speaking foreign language. I like that. Really got through. Really penetrated. Foreign language. Can we get a look at NBC's closed captioning guy? Yeah, makes sense. And Cory Booker was not having it. Check out the side eye he gives Beto. Damn. That was going to be my thing. But the moderators weren't ready to take speaks foreign language as an answer.
That's time, sir. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. If you want to answer the direct question, would you support a 70% individual marginal tax rate? Yes, no, or pass?
No habla inglés.
That's the tone. He's got the tone.
Right after Beto, Julian Castro had a chance to speak.
You know, I grew up with a mother who raised my brother Joaquin and me as a single parent. And I know what it's like
to actually speak Spanish. The former congressman from Maryland had a chance for a rebuttal.
Congressman Delaney, do you agree?
And Congressman, keep in mind, this is the only time we will be calling on you. So if you speak Spanish or even Pig Latin, I would Ixpe itye aune. Delaney tried to stand out from the crowd.
You know, I'm very different than everyone else here on the stage.
Unlike the others, I'm just doing this on a dare from my brother-in-law. Joke's on you, Rick. Pay up, I'm on stage. Now, Washington Governor Jay Inslee spoke about the massive wealth gap for American workers.
It is not right that the CEO of McDonald's makes 2,100 times more than the people slinging hash at McDonald's.
You know, the workers slinging hash on the flat top with 2 sunny sides on rye. Hi, I'm Jay Inslee, and I have never stepped inside a McDonald's. Well, with Adam and Eve on a raft and American Charlie with hot pants running through the garden. Amy Klobuchar tried to set herself apart from Trump.
The president literally went on TV, on Fox, and said that people's heads would spin when they see how much he would bring down pharmaceutical prices. Instead, 2,500 drugs have gone up in double digits since he came into office. Instead, he gave $100 billion in giveaways to the pharma companies. For the rest of us, for the rest of America, that's what we call at home, all foam and no beer.
If that's a metaphor you frequently use, Senator, then, as we say back in South Carolina, I'm a shrimp sandwich in a thunderstorm. Every candidate lit up when it came to the subject of health care.
To stay the way it is. Because it's not working for families, but it sure as heck working for them. It's time for us to make families come first.
It should not be an option in the United States of America for any insurance company to deny women coverage for their exercise of their right of choice.
Nothing like interrupting a woman to tell everyone that you care about the rights of women. Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Thank you. About 35 minutes into the debate, as the candidates were talking about the tragedy at the border, Trump finally weighed in, tweeting, "Boring. Come on, humanitarian catastrophes that I directly caused. Been there, literally done that." And when the topic turned to the border crisis, Booker took Beto's Spanish and raised him mucho más.
La situación ahora es inaceptable. Este presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es inaceptable y voy a cambiar este.
Oh, snap! It is on. It is on. It is an español off. Or as they say in Spanish, grupo de idiotas. I hope I said that right. I don't speak
You might have to work on
foreign
that one, Bob.
language. By the way, guys, there's so much Spanish on stage, ICE is closing in. Get out of there. Then Telemundo anchor Jose Ballart called Beto on his Los Talking Points.
Congresista O'Rourke, ¿qué haría usted en el primer día, si usted es presidente, sobre esta realidad que está ocurriendo?
That was not one of the phrases I memorized, sir. You could say that. You are speaking a foreign language, I believe. And there was some strong words from either Tim Ryan or Ryan Tim. I can't really remember.
If you go to Guantanamo Bay, there are terrorists that are held that get better health care than those kids that have tried to cross the border in the United States.
Yes, let's send those kids to Guantanamo Bay. Wait, no, I take that back. Two new moderators took over at halftime, Rachel Maddow and Chuck Todd, which raised the question, is it possible that this debate will eventually have more hosts than candidates? Then, complete and utter chaos.
Many of you are calling for a restoration of an assault weapons ban, but even if implemented, there will still be hundreds of millions of guns in this country. Should there be a role for the federal government?
Their other mics are on.
Everybody's mics are on. I think we have I heard that too. That's okay. I think we had a little mic issue in the back.
Control room, we've got contrary
We have we have the audience audio.
I'm sorry, as I was saying, obviously this is a deeply sensitive and tragic issue, and now it appears that a bunch of stray dogs have wandered onto the stage. The dogs are now humping Bill de Blasio's leg, and control room, we're hearing the humping. Can we turn off the mic that we, for some reason, put on Bill de Blasio's leg? Thank you very much. But they got that fixed, and they kept going, but not really.
But even if it's put in place, there's still going to be perhaps hundreds of millions of guns still on the streets. Is there a role for the federal government in order to get these guns off the streets?
Someone's got my binder.
What's happening?
We are hearing our colleagues' audio. If the control room could turn off the mics.
Y'all are trying to be the news.
Yeah, if the control room could turn off the mics of our previous moderators, we will.
I think it's the prior moderators.
You know, we prepared for everything.
Guess what, guys?
We did not prepare for this.
Wow, that is really embarrassing to have a live show where you don't know whose mics are on and whose mics are off while you're doing your show. And in the background, people are talking about the things that you're trying to ask questions about. And the entire time that you're talking, people behind you are just talking on their microphones the entire time. And John...
And you got to get something that's whole.
John, I'm trying to do the monologue. Your mic is on. This is live.
Oh, yeah, I know it is. It's going great, I think. I was really just trying to see if you wanted to get something to eat after this.
Yeah, I'll get Chinese. It'll be great. Chinese.
Oh, yeah. I'm on the whole 30. I got it.
Once all of that cleared up, Maddow asked Jay Inslee about his central campaign topic, climate change.
We're here in Miami, which is already experiencing serious flooding on sunny days as a result of sea level rise. Does your plan save Miami?
Yes.
That is the biggest softball a presidential candidate can hope for. I don't care what anyone says. I believe the people of this great city should not drown. No, I know. And while they were talking climate change, John Delaney did his best to yank the spotlight over to his corner.
I introduced the only bipartisan carbon tax bill in the Congress.
All right.
And that's why I lost my congressional seat, Rachel. Cars on the table, guys. I need this job. I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't cry. Then Congressman from Hawaii, Tulsi Gabbard, and Tim Ryan got into it over national security.
The reality of it is, if the United States isn't engaged, the Taliban will grow. We have got to have some presence there.
The Taliban was there long before we came in. They'll be there long before we leave.
Well,
we cannot keep U.S. troops deployed to Afghanistan thinking that we're going to somehow squash this Taliban that has been there, that every other country that's tried
I didn't say
has failed.
squash them. When we weren't in there, they started flying planes into our buildings. So I'm just saying right now,
we have an obligation. The Taliban didn't attack us on 9/11. Al-Qaeda did.
Well, I understand.
Al-Qaeda attacked us on 9/11.
I understand.
That's why I and so many other people joined the military to go after Al-Qaeda, not the Taliban.
Tulsi, Tim, please don't fight. You're both not going to be presidents. Please, just... Tim Ryan identified what he thought was the biggest threat, but had a confusing explanation why.
China, without a question, they're wiping us around the world.
And the award for best clip that sounds like it should have been bleeped goes to Tim Ryan for the weird thing about China wiping us. Just... Congratulations. Then it was time for closing statements, and it did not go great for John Delaney.
It's time now for closing statements. Each candidate has 45 seconds. We want to begin with former Congressman Delaney.
Closing now.
Oh, joking now? It's not easy to be hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. Bravo, sir. And Castro closed with the night's biggest bilingual zinger.
And on January 20th, 2021, we'll say adios to Donald Trump.
Strong words. Strong words. Powerful statement. I gotta say, a very powerful statement. If only Beto O'Rourke would translate what that means. We got a great show for you tonight, everybody. Reaction to tonight's debate. I will be joined by Alexandria